G'day to you. I'm standing up this afternoon. It's very difficult when you're doing one of these things into the phone, you're holding it close, because you're sort of looking at your face to make sure you're in, and you're not looking at the camera, which is there, because otherwise you can't see what you're doing, you're going to fall over. It looks at me. Anyway, how you all doing? Welcome to D-Lands, and this is sort of, a couple of people have asked about this, and Harry Timmons was one, and it's the kit that I use here for recording, and it's basically my setup, which is incredibly cheap, very basic, but it does the job. So I'm going to run through, let you know what kit I'm using, and we'll take it from there. Okay, this might be a bit wobbly because I've got to hold the camera. First of all, let's have a quick look, and I've covered this before, but I will just do a really brief run through of the guitars and stuff here. Things that you need if you're going to have a recording set up in your house. You need to have most of the main food groups of guitar covered. Right, food groups. So let's have a look what I got. I got a Stratty thing. That's actually a Fernandez Sustainer guitar, but it's a Strata-like. There I've got a Epiphone Les Paul gold top thing, so it's a Gibson's sorted out. There's a Indie IRK 500, which is like a Rickenbacker styly thing. So that's your electric guitars pretty much there. You need something heavy metal and diddly. Hang on. We've got an acoustic, bang. We've got an Aria open C-tuned steel string guitar. There's a real diddly custom jobby electric guitar. Down there, the log. There's a 5-string bass. Metal. And there's a open C-tuned, generally 12-string. So that's a whole bunch of guitar food groups over there. Excuse me. Over on this one, we've got the Dan Electro 4-string bass. We've got the vintage Metal Axe Razor 24 fret 6-string electric guitar, useful for various things. There's an electroacoustic classical. There's a Switch Vibracell, plastic fantastic, a bit of a thrash guitar but quite fun. There's a PV Raptor, nice little Strata-like, really sweet looking guitar actually, really sweet looking guitar. And this is a Vietnamese version. I've had a Chinese one as well, which I gave to my brother, but in terms of getting them Strat sounds, that thing really does it. I've used that on quite a few recordings in the past. Check out Happy Orange Balloon Driving Through Vegas. There's a version of that probably on Happy Orange Balloon on SoundCloud or on my Reverb Nation, Roboland Reverb Nation. Happy Orange Balloon Driving Through Vegas. All the Strat sounds are done on that. So there you go, and that cost me hardly anything. Then you've got a hollow-bodied thing, a collection of mandolin, ukulele, toy guitar, little strummy things, bouzouki interlude, and then you've got a electroacoustic bass, the Ovation, and a pineapple, and a couple of travel guitars, etc. So all the food groups all covered there. Fantastic stuff. Great. Let's get on to the actual recording business. What I use a PC, just a normal old floor standing PC there, which is built by a friend of mine quite a few years ago. Since I've had it, it's got 4 gig of RAM because that's all that mother frigger board will take. But that's not that important if you use an external sound card, which is a big thing we'll get to in a minute. What I've done with it, I've put a bigger hard drive, a new graphics card in it, new power unit, new fan. I think that's what I did. So, but it's nothing particularly flash at all. So, and it's running Windows 10, which I've found to be okay. Yeah. So, what you need is a external sound card or audio interface or AEIOU thing or box of tricks. Basically, you plug your guitar in one end and you USB it out the other into your computer, and that becomes your sound card, and that's the bit of kit. When I bought my first one, I wanted a microphone as well, and I wanted a condenser mic for recording. I don't do a lot of acoustic recordings, but for recording vocals and for recording the odd acoustic guitar here and there, I wanted a condenser mic as well. And to buy a normal sound card, external sound card, audio interface with phantom power for a condenser mic, and then buy a condenser mic on top, or what I was looking at was Rhodes, a couple of stereo Rhodes set up. It was more money than I had. So at the time, what I bought was this thing here. you see that? Can you see that? Samson G-Track. Alright, Samson G-Track, and it's a groovy bit of kit. Let's have a look at this. It's got comes in this very nice stand, which it's actually stuck to at the moment, but you can sing into it and you can plug a guitar into it. You've got an input there, you've got an output there for your speakers or headphones, and it's got a sound card built in. These things go new still for about £70, and the mics are good enough. I mean, they're not the best things on the planet, but they do the job. And we've just used it for all the acoustic guitars and all the vocals and all the live percussion on the Blazing Chaos album we've just done. And it's got a really, to my ears, quite a nice boxy, no real massive character one way or the other sound, which is great, which is sort of what I want when I'm recording. I don't want stuff, you know, so as I say, with that you can plug a guitar into it and you can sing into it and you can monitor through it, etc, etc. It's only 16-bit, that one, and it struggled a bit sometimes when I was doing stuff and I had a lot of other tracks running, a lot of other effects running. The latency did get a bit much on that one, so I upgraded that one. But I still use that if I'm recording anything with vocals or acoustic guitars, or when me and Blaze have recorded his acoustic rhythm guitars on this album, he's used the Ovation or whatever, we've generally plugged the guitar into one channel and had the mic running as well and recorded both of those. I then mixed them. So Samson G-Track, really, really cheap bit of kit. So it cost me about £70 odd, maybe $90 or something. Yeah, microphone, condenser mic with a USB built in. If you're doing just home demo stuff, recording, if you're a singer-songwriter, that sort of stuff, and you want something, brilliant bit of kit, okay? As I say, I did upgrade that a bit later on for something that's 24-bit and also processes. It's just better, I think. It's a better bit of kit. You can plug a couple of guitars into that, into the one I've got now, which is this one. Can you see? EMU 0202 USB, Creative Labs EMU 0202 USB, and that's the audio interface that I use most of the time now. And that has some controls on the front, two channels. You got you press that and you can actually directly monitor whatever you're going in. So if you just plug a guitar in, you can hear a clean guitar, and that's a mix for that, and that's a headphone thing. On the back you got inputs for two inputs, normal 1/4" jack for your guitar in that channel, and that one you've got your XLR and your thing for low business and whatever. Again, that you can get those second hand for very, very, very little money, but obviously loads and loads of people build these things, and second hand you can probably find something for about £40–50, you know, not a lot of money. Tons and tons of reviews of all sorts of things on YouTube, so go and look and find something that suits you best. You know, there are little Line 6 pod devices that do the same thing. The small ones, those you can get for virtually no money at all. But think about whether you're going to want to plug condenser mics into it, whether you're going to want 48 volt phantom power, whether you're going to want MIDI in, MIDI out. That all adds money to it, okay? All adds extra money. But that thing there, basically, you plug your guitar in one end, USB it out the other, and that deals with all of your sound processing. And with Reaper, which is what I use on the recent album I've been recording, some of the songs we've had over 30 audio tracks running with effects, all sorts of other stuff. And that's been fine, no latency, no nothing. And I'm recording, I think, at 44.1 and 24-bit. I think that's what I'm doing. Fine. So get yourself something like that, audio interface, look around second hand, check compatibility with new Windows things. But the thing I wanted to say, Creative Labs, I don't know when they update their drivers, Samson, I don't know, but I'm using ASIO for all, ASIO, number 4, ALL, all one word, ASIO for all. It's a universal sort of sound driver. I use that on all of these things and it works absolutely fine for me. I use pretty much a default setting that it comes in, and I have no problems. And say sometimes I'm doing a lot of processing, it will fall over a bit a few times when I've been pretty drunk and I've had like 9 or 10, 12 sequences and all sorts of other things running and just all sorts of audio and tons of effects, and I've been, you know, far too ambitious for my own good and it's sort of glitched a bit, but for the most part that will handle, you know, if you're running a professional studio, then you're not going to spend £25 on a second-hand piece of kit, are you? But for what you're going to do at home, that sort of thing. But be aware of how many channels going in, how many channels going out, whether it's got MIDI going in, phantom power, and plan ahead, which is something I didn't really do, but you know. Excellent. That just USBs into your computer. Now the other thing I've got is me controller keyboard. So I got this one recently, the Novation Launch Key. Oh shit, docks myself. Fuck. Novation Launch Key 49. God, I'm going to have to do this all again, am I? Fuck. And, God. I'll edit those bits out, I'll blur them if I... God. Yeah. And that is basically a 49-note MIDI controller. Again, that USBs into the back of your computer, and that, when you're doing all your diddly MIDI stuff, sampling, all that sort of stuff, that's what controls it all. So again, on the Blazing Chaos thing, and all the orchestrations, all the string arrangements, all that sort of business, a lot of the percussion, all the synths, all done on that. Wonderful. Brilliant. What else do I need? Okay, some speakers. At the moment, when I play and when I'm just messing about here, I just use these speakers here on the computer, which are the ones which came with it, which are just crappy little things with a big old subwoofer down there. When I'm mixing, they're just nothing special. They're PC speakers. When I'm mixing, I use this thing, which is my hi-fi setup, which is an old Sony amp, and I've got some Celestion 3s here, and that's what I mix through. That's what I mix through here in this room. I'm not running a professional studio, this is me doing my thing, and we do what we do. Okay, brilliant, up to the software, and this is going to be a bit difficult. Let's have a look what we got here. Okay, what I run is Reaper. And it's just coming up now. Reaper, for me, was the best deal on the market. You can download it and try it for nothing, full unexpiring version or unlimited version. And again, because I tend to use a lot of audio tracks rather than MIDI stuff, for me to get something else like maybe Ableton or something like that, which other people are real fans of, and very different bits of software, but for where I need, the way I record quite a lot of the time, a lot of audio tracks. You know, we're recording essentially as a couple of guitars and some vocals, but I might overlay 6, 7, 8 vocals, 6 guitars just on the rhythm track, you know, and then percussion things might take us, you know, another 5, 6 different tracks to get those done. So a few of the songs we've been doing have, you know, run into over 30 tracks. Let's have a look. I mean, bring this one up here. But Reaper is basically, you're looking at a DAW, digital audio workstation, or as we call it in old money, recording studio software. And there's loads and loads of stuff out there. Again, some of them cater for slightly different ways of recording, or, you know, but for me, Reaper just does everything I need, and it's pretty cheap. The version I got, I paid $40 for the license, and that was about 5 years ago. And having said that, it looks like it's just crashed. I've got loads of other stuff been running today. Oh, what's going on? Something seriously not happy. Isn't that always the way? It just runs perfectly most of the time. There's a few old VSTs, some of the old bits of software, some of the old effects and things that I've had for years, and they still exist on a couple of old tunes, and they don't like it up them. So sometimes they will cause Reaper to have a bit of a problem. But I'm weeding those out as we go through. and getting rid of them and replacing with other VSTs, but it's because I just had a load of old stuff, old samplers and things, and they're not the best things on the planet. But hopefully we'll see in a second. I've just got, for some reason I've clicked on a track which is really, really old and really stupid and really got loads of things on it. But there you go, that's the way it goes. Can't even drink beer because I can if I just do this. Oh, hang on, here we go. So, this is what it sort of looks like. You have a play and a record button down here. Record, play. These are all your tracks. You just double click on here to get another track. I'm not going to give you a tutorial, but if I wanted to put another guitar track in, if you can see there, can you see there? No, probably this is probably a really bad way of doing it. But anyway, yeah, there's all your audio track. You know, you've seen this sort of business before on YouTube, all this sort of stuff, and so you can just have a quick listen and see what it does.
Check the time of day, wander into twilight, found their birth.
So you see I've got quite a few.
No turning back.
On this I've got
a new day has begun. Down, down.
I've got 16 live tracks running up this with loads of effects, a couple of MIDI tracks. So there you go. So there you go, that's what we did here. Recorded all that here using that microphone I just showed you, that box of tricks, pretty much that controller. I think it's my old controller, but again, that Novation keyboard I bought the other week brand new for about £70. Work out how long you need your keyboard to be. Are you going to be playing double-handed things across several octaves or just going diddly 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 a bit? In which case get a tiny little control keyboard, you know, 25 key, you can pick those up for bugger all money. There you go. That's the basis of this setup and what it does. I hope that's given you some ideas and an idea of budget, but you don't have to spend a lot to get something that will pretty much blow your mind. All right, I probably only use about 1 or 2% of what Reaper can actually do, because I guess I'm old school. I'm used to the old Tascam Porter Studios. We used to record on 4-track on cassette tape, and before that on reel-to-reel, just shouting into it. All right then, from me and from Dave and from that unopened bottle of beer, which I'm going to get to now because I'm sick of holding this damn camera. Take care, good people, and I'll see you on the next one. Cheers.